if you were king of tennis,
Oh, yes.
whether it was Atlanta, the world, the universe, king of tennis is Luke Jensen. Is there anything you would do, anything you would change, anything you would implement as king of tennis?
So at the pro level, I want you to stay with me on this. The coaching has just started, but I got a real problem with the coaching. Now, if the player's on your side of the court, you can talk to them. But, you know, the towels, you know, are away. You got to sit in these seats. And if you say something, you have to say it kind of loud. Well, they can hear you on the other side. Your opponents can hear what you're saying. So it's not really, it's a glorified cheering. That's exactly what at the Australian Open, the Ben Shelton, dangerous Ben Shelton, man, stock up on that guy. He's playing Tommy Stockholm, and let's see, I forgot which coach. One of them said, "Hey, oh yeah." So the Brad Steinkühler says to Tommy Paul, they're in Laver Arena. It's a huge place. Says, watch, take away the wide serve. They're on the same side of the court, but he's on the other side of that side of the court. So Ben hears that and serves an ace down the tee. So that's just one example. The other thing, so my player hasn't been playing on the bigger courts. We're out there in the weeds, you know, on court 48. And so they put you out there in the field courts and you got your little seat and your opponent's coach is on the other side of the court. And I'm sitting there and I chart all my matches. I chart everybody I coach. I chart their matches because that tells you the story of the match, where we're making our errors. Is it in the fourth ball of the rally? Is it in the eighth ball of the rally? Where are we winning? Where are we losing? So I'm charting and it's Susie Fan and they're, you know, ooh, what are you doing? Well, I'm charting the match. Well, which player are you with? So I'm running conversation. I'm in the stands with the fans and I'm trying to focus and give so it's such a challenge. And so if I was king of pro tennis, I want it to be like NASCAR or let's say, you know, Formula One, where everybody's got their teams. They got their coaches, their hitting partners, their Shakeologists, their mental coach, their trainer that rubs out their legs, all that stuff. Can you imagine you're like got seats right behind the court, a little bit like World Team Tennis, but let's say, but on the changeover, they jump you have the stringer. You could have your own stringer on the court. And they're stringing your racket. The masseuse or your trainer's like rubbing your legs out during your coach is doing the dry erase board and running, you know, talking plays. That we mic that up and hear it, whether it's in their native language or not, whatever that is. Have both sides like that, I think would be fascinating to bring that kind of level. Because out there's going to be some cool, entertaining stories, personalities that would come out that you normally would never see. And really I would give more access to the media behind the scenes because people don't know how amazing. Like you see that Netflix thing. Have you seen that with all those guys, Taylor Fritz? That's probably like, to be honest, like 30% of what is really going on. And the one thing that's going on for a year, which is fascinating, is especially on the women's side, not as much on the men's side because there aren't really any top 100 Ukrainian male players, but there's plenty on the women's side. And there's plenty of Russian and Belarusians. And those guys grew up together. Now, imagine like the war going on and the Ukrainians, they ain't getting on with the Russians and Belarusians. Like that's real. And I was in Austin at the Austin Open and the transportation person, they don't know. They're just putting people in cars. So the Ukrainian gets, you know, you're in this car, opens the door to the back and one of the Russians is in there. And she's just like, hell no. And it's like, and it's real. Like, it's not like I just don't get along with it. Like the Ukrainians, my apartment building was destroyed. Like it's real on a daily basis, what's going on. So that is fascinating stuff. So if I was king, I want a NASCAR kind of like pit crew that does the massages, shakes, the shakes, does all the nutrition, gives me the coaching, strings my rackets on my side, and then goes and sits down, in the stands, like, and jumps back out on the changeover. I think that would be unbelievable. And they're mic'd up. And then I would show the Netflix thing. I would show more behind the scenes of really what's going on. And whether they agree or not, the players run the show right now in pro tennis. And it's not like when Roger and Rafa and these guys are playing, where you needed those guys. No one's really watching pro tennis right now. That's the reality. Pickleball, because they had those names with Agassi and McEnroe and those guys, that drew a lot more than tennis was. So I want to be number one. I want to produce Grand Slam champions, American Grand Slam champions, singles, doubles, mixed, don't care. And I think you've got to get them before they start getting into other sports. So I think K through 6, and I'd be going to elementary schools, pre-Ks, and I'd bring mommy and me courses or daddy and me courses, teaching parents how to teach their kids. Because in the end, if you can get mom and dad locked in, some really cool stuff can happen.